It's almost fall, and you know what that means. Cooler weather, and I immediately want to curl up and light a pumpkin spice candle because that just makes my house super cozy and super fall.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love fall, and I love to embrace all of the fall things. And when it's time to embrace the season and make everything cozy, I'm looking on Wayfair.
I just got the cutest chunky knit throw from there, and now my bed is Pinterest perfect.
That's what I love. Wayfair's got cozy covered in every room. Whether it's new bedding, kitchen gear, or just a fun fall doormat, they've curated everything. And delivery free, even the big stuff.
So if you want your home to feel as good as your favorite sweater, now's the time to go and get cozy.
Cozify your space with Wayfair's curated collection of easy, affordable fall updates. From comfy recliners to cozy bedding and autumn decor. Find it all for way less at wayfair.com. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. My name is Joanne Crone, here with the brilliant Brie Tucker.
Why, hello, Brie. How are you?
We're talking about losing it, which I think Brie and I have a lot of experience in. Losing it, Brie? Experience? Yes.
Yeah. I would say flipping my lid, blowing my top. Oh, yeah. My kids can tell you I am A-okay experienced in that area.
I'm not a yeller. I'm more of a inside, as we talked about before, self-flagellator, where I will beat myself senseless on things and tell myself, oh my gosh, you shouldn't be reacting this way. Stay cool, Joanne. Stay cool. Why are you so upset? Stay cool. And then I take actions and passive aggressive things that I do when I lose my cool.
Yeah. My problem is I have a short fuse, I think. That's just really all. If I'm dealing with anything that is agitating me to begin with, I mean, I'm like a powder keg. I just blow it in a sec. You look at me cross-eyed and I'll be like, what? So
yeah,
not always that helpful.
Well, we all have those moments that we just snap. I think it's a universal thing. I don't think there's anyone who is a patient person who is also raising kids and dealing with everything else. I mean, if you go up to the wilderness and they're in a cabin alone by themselves and they're like, why can't everybody else just find inner peace? And you're like, suck it.
That feels very specific.
I get specific. I create these situations in my mind and then I get mad at them. It's what I do.
But I do that a lot too.
I mean, it's a normal experience. If you're listening right now and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I lose my cool all the time and I feel really, really bad about it. We're going to give you some strategies to help you through that and also to show you that we're not alone because Brie and I will share our stories about blowing our tops all the time.
Yes.
So let's get on with the show.
Okay. Every time you or I say blowing our top, I just keep thinking of my top flying off. I don't know why. And then it's I'm trying not to laugh while we're talking. So I'm sorry I started that analogy. Let's just not continue it.
I hope everybody else feels that way when it's blowing your top. I think we should keep that because I mean, if you're thinking that way, and I'm talking in podcast land too, because I think it's a great thing. If you're thinking blowing your top and you're like, I have to say it did cross my mind, top coming off. But
right?
Let that laughter guide you through your anger. Because if you can change it to laughing, then it's pretty good. I think we're doing our job. We're doing our job.
I would say so.
Yes. So we both have some personal stories about losing our cool. I mean, the one that happened to me most recently was a month ago. I had planned with my daughter to go to see Gracie Abrams in LA. And this was her surprise birthday gift for her 16th birthday in December. So it's been coming up for a while. She knew it was coming up because she got it in December. But I had made all these hotel arrangements. I had booked the flights. I had booked the rental car. I was doing all of this preparation for it. And I go in and check in with her. She's lying on her bed on her phone about leaving the next day. And the first thing she says is, Mom, we have to be on time to this concert. You're always late, Mom. You're always late.
What?
Yeah. As far as concerts go, because there's all this stuff that goes on before concerts now. I mean, Taylor Swift, I blame Taylor Swift.
I'm going to say that's because That's a generational thing. I agree with you. So I will say this, between my daughter and I think we both would say that I have much more concert experience than her. Yet going to a concert with her was eye-opening because, like, yeah, they want to get there early and do all that stuff. But like, we didn't have that growing up. Ours was just like, do you want to see the opening band? Maybe, maybe not. You know, do I need to buy merch? If I do, I got to get there early. If not, I can get there when my band comes on.
Well, let me put a pin in that because I do want to tell you what was at this concert early.
Okay. So she says, Mom, you're always late to concerts.
Yeah. And I get mad because I'm like, I just put all of this work into making this a wonderful trip. And you decide to pick on the one thing that I did wrong. And of course, I'm not thinking this clearly in the moment. It's more expletives in my head in the moment.
All of a sudden, everything turns red.
Yes. And I leave out of her room and I'm like, well, looks like someone's not into being nice today, which is like my insult.
Oh my God. I wish that's what I would say.
And then I went into my room and I have control over the screen time limits on her phone. And so I turned off our screen time while she was in the middle of it just because I was so upset.
I'm sorry. Podcast land, I want everybody to start clapping and cheering if you agree with that choice. I would have been petty in the moment. I would have. But go on.
Then I lied about the reason I did it. Because I was like,
what did you say?
She's like, did you do that on purpose? And she's texting me from across the house. And I'm like, well, you said you wanted my help with screen time limits and it just never went back on. And so that's when I remembered.
Oh my God. I love this.
It was not my proudest moment, but I did get a chance to think about it overnight. And I did repair with her the next morning and say like, hey, I was upset and angry. I wasn't thinking clearly. This is why I did what I did. It doesn't excuse it. I am sorry. And she apologized too for her not seeming like she appreciated what I put into the trip as well. Yeah. So that was that whole thing. Not my proudest moment, as many of these losing our cool moments are not.
Oh, all of us have. Although I'm a little concerned. Your story compared to mine's not quite as gentle of losing her temper. So that's just because you know me. So like for anyone, I mean, even if you haven't met me in real life, people, and you've only heard me on the podcast, you've never even seen a picture of me, I think you can tell I'm pretty colorful. And I also get like very loud very quickly. And my daughter has a lot of the same tendencies as me. So when we were like creating the outline for this episode, I'm like, well, I can talk about the one time when they were like 3 and 4 and one of them spilt water and they started freaking out because they thought I was going to yell about spilling water. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But that's not as good as the way I flip my lid around my teenage daughter. Because again, there's only 2 of us. I came first. She needs to just hold back. So we were having an argument the other day. She needed to get some car work done. She got upset that like a car shop, like you have to drop it off and then they have to repair it.
Oh my gosh, imagine. No.
Yeah, so she had to drive one of our other cars for a couple of days while we got it fixed. And she had to pay to get the repair done. Then like 2 days later, her car won't start. And like you were with me, we were like in a meeting and she walks in and she's like, I know I'm not supposed to interrupt you while you're in a meeting, but my car won't start. And I'm like, okay. So I go outside and it sounds like it's her battery. We'll take care of it after school. For right now, hop in my car, go to school. When you get back, I'll run my errands. So later that night, he shows her how to jump the battery in her car. And she starts getting attitude about having to drive her car at 8:00 at night to AutoZone to get it replaced. Well, Mom, I need my beauty rest. And I want to take my everything shower. Now, mind you, it's 115 degrees outside, so we're all sweating up pretty. And I get it. I was laughing too in my head until like she just kept doing the teen thing, the lip curls up and you just get looked at like you're a moron. Yeah. So I don't remember how it happened. That's kind of scary, I guess. But I'm just like, that's it. I don't want to hear another word out of you unless it is yes or thank you. And she just stared at me and like made like a little sign of like mouth shut and just was quiet the rest of the time until we got to the the place. We got our battery taken care of. My husband came with us because he felt like he needed to like referee.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was nothing to referee. We weren't talking. We were both mad. And then when we got back, though, I did pull her aside and like, listen, I felt like you were disrespecting me because that car, you didn't pay for the car. And all I'm asking you to do is pay for your repairs. And you're acting like it's a big deal. And she's like, I wasn't acting like it was a big deal. And I am grateful. And I didn't get a sorry out of her at the end, but she did hear me say, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have lost my cool like that. I should have let you know that you had been hurting my feelings all day, talking about the car repair and all these things. So
Both of our situations have a common thread, though, and they have to do with their triggers, and they also have to do with one other thing. And we'll let you know what that is right after this break.
it's almost fall, and you know what that means. Cooler weather, and I immediately want to curl up and light a pumpkin spice candle because that just makes my house super cozy and super fall.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love fall. And I love to like embrace all of the fall like things. And when it's time to embrace the season and make everything cozy, you know I'm looking on Wayfair.
I just got the cutest chunky knit throw from there, and now my bed is Pinterest perfect.
That's what I love. Wayfair's got cozy covered in every room. Whether it's new bedding, kitchen gear, or just a fun fall doormat, they've curated everything. And delivery free, even the big stuff.
So if you want your home to feel as good as your favorite sweater, now's the time to go and get cozy.
Cozify your space with Wayfair's curated collection of easy, affordable fall updates. From comfy recliners to cozy bedding and autumn decor. Find it all for way less at wayfair.com. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. At Great Wolf Lodge, there's adventure for the whole family. You and your pack can splash away in the indoor water park where it's always 84 degrees. There's a massive wave pool, a lazy river, and tons of water slides for your pack to enjoy together. And the fun doesn't stop there. Get ready to explore and play at adventure-packed attractions from Magi Quest, a live-action game that takes place throughout the lodge, to the Northern Lights Arcade. There's also a bunch of great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. And the best part, with 23 lodges across the country, you're always only a short drive away from adventure. I am so excited to visit Great Wolf Lodge with my nephew who's 6. He cannot wait for the water park. So bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Book your stay today at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. Okay, let's talk about money. Bree, do you know exactly how many financial accounts you have?
I have like 3 401ks. I sure don't. But I hope it's doing what it's supposed to. I just don't have time to figure out where it all is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you've got money coming in from all of these multiple places, it's so easy to assume that things are fine. But that's how we leave money on the table.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, Monarch Money has been a game changer to help me with that. It pulls everything. I can connect it to my bank accounts, credit cards, investment accounts, and it turns it all into this really easy to read dashboard.
Yeah, what's really cool is it doesn't just show you the numbers, it tells you what's happening with your money. Like you may discover that you're not saving nearly as much as you thought.
Yep, Monarch gives me that big picture view so nothing slips through the cracks.
So if you're trying to save more, invest smarter, or just stop stressing over money, don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code NOGUILT at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code NOGUILT. So we had 2 very kind of different reactions. You blew your top right off.
It blew right away. You know what? It was hot enough. I wouldn't have been surprised if that happened. Okay.
I didn't blow my top, but it showed in my actions and my passive aggressiveness that I was mad.
You're not passive aggressive or petty like I am at all.
I can get it. I'm devious with my passive aggressiveness. Sometimes people don't even know that's happening. I'm so good. No.
Wow. That is some passive aggressive skill.
That's some passive aggressive skills. I've been honing them for 43 years, ever since I was in the womb. But anyways, we both had reactions to a
Mhm.
situation. And guys, the reason we're talking about all this right now is because we do have a Master Your Emotions challenge coming up, which you totally should sign up for, which is right below. And we're going to lead you through how to keep your cool in these situations more often than not. Of course, there's these times you're going to lose your cool, but just to let you know, you can join me and Bree right down in the show notes. The two things that are really interesting in our two scenarios is that, first of all, human beings are made up of thoughts, feelings, and actions. The actions are like, if you think of an iceberg, the actions are the iceberg, like above the surface of the water.
The things you see.
Yeah, the
Right.
things we can see. The thoughts and feelings, however, they're like 95% of the iceberg, and no one
Yeah.
ever sees them. And
Yeah.
they're the ones that cause all of our actions to happen. And both you and I were going along the same thoughts, actually, that created our reaction. I
Yeah.
was feeling disrespected and unappreciated because I had gone through all this work of planning the concert and it was just like thrown back in my face. Actually, this unappreciation has a common theme in my life as something is upsetting me recently about that. That's another story. But you were also feeling disrespected and like
Yeah.
your time wasn't valuable. And those are the thoughts
Yes.
going through your head.
Exactly. And, a lot of times when we do end up losing our cool with our kids, there's other factors that are leading up to it, right?
Mhm.
Like a big one that we've talked about that can be like a trigger to make you get to the point where you are flipping your lid, you're tossing your top. Wait, I'm sorry, blowing your top.
Tossing your top, blowing your top, anything where your top comes off. This is it.
Anything where the top flies, we're
The
there.
episode where your top comes off. That's the title. That's
Wow.
yeah.
I'd be like, hi, mom.
That's
Anyway.
okay. We're grown-ups. We can say that. You are a grown woman. You can do this.
I am. So, like, one of the common triggers, and this one gets me all the time because all these are my triggers: hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And when you
Yeah.
put those together, it spells halt, right? So, I'm sure for many of us, that is like any human being. Any human being, those things are going to be triggers.
And like, let me guess, because I could say with my situation, I was lonely in there. I felt I
Mhm.
was doing all this alone and not appreciated for it. You felt like you were doing this, well, with Miguel outside, but you were hot and you were doing all these other things for her. So it could be a very lonely silo.
Yeah, I had angry from our earlier exchanges about the car.
Mhm.
Yeah, lonely because I wasn't getting, you're great, mom, which never
Yeah,
happens,
never
but that's
happens.
okay. And then T, I was definitely tired because I was hot and sticky. And the only reason I'm even out there sweating is to help my child who's been
Yeah.
there, right? We're
Yeah.
struggling, and it's only because we were trying to help our kid the whole time. And then something happens.
But it's like we push all those things down. We push them
We
down. We
do.
push them down. I know I told myself right there in the moment, like, Joanne, why are you getting angry? You shouldn't get angry. And I think I had told myself something like that all during that day. Like, oh, don't let this bother you. Let it slide off your back. Don't let it bother
Yeah.
you. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people do that. I mean, do you?
Yeah, I totally do that a ton. My bigger thing is like my brain doesn't allow me to enjoy things because I'll get all anxious in it. So then I'll be thinking about that and then I will thinking about all the things that could possibly go wrong. Then in my head, I'm living through all these different scenarios. And if somebody snaps at me, I will just poof because I've already been like worked up and thinking, and I'm like so worked up on things. I think sometimes that's a big one too for us as moms. We don't think about the mental load that we go through.
Hmm.
And sometimes us just snapping because we're lifting something heavy in that moment. We're really thinking about something heavy, and our kids come to us for something, or it's just bad timing.
I think you're right on that. Like living with something pretty heavy that we
Hmm.
don't share.
Right.
And that's been a theme in my life recently. Just trying to pay attention to those moments where I am feeling feelings and trying to communicate in those moments. That's been a theme in our coaching as well. Just a coaching session today, like both women who were on the hot seat had something about that. They were feeling these feelings, they were thinking these thoughts, but they didn't share them with the person that they were thinking them towards or feeling them towards. I think it prevents us from connecting with people and asking for help. But I also know the reason why I don't do it is because I'm afraid I'll be labeled as selfish or over dramatic.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, because we're all told, and I've even caught myself saying it to my daughter before, because again, she's a mirror. So me saying it to her is me also saying it back to me. Bring it down. It's a lot right now,
Hmm.
right? Like so many of us have been told our whole lives, you're a lot. You're being a 10.
You're
I
a
need you to
lot.
be calmer. And that's
Yeah.
another way to say you're too much or you're too emotional or you're too dramatic. It all comes back to the same point. You're too whatever.
You're too
So,
much.
yeah. So
Yes.
we don't want to share that we're feeling hurt, we're feeling slighted because we feel like we have to always keep it Donna Reed. Wow, that's really aging me. But like,
You watch Nick and
perfect.
Knight reruns. It's all good.
There you go. There you go. But we all had to be perfect and have it all together at all times. And nothing bothered Donna Reed. She was never upset.
It's so interesting, though, because we also try to make it easier for the people around us
Mm-hmm.
in those situations. I mean, like, I was talking with my mom over the weekend, and we were talking about how during childhood, like, my dad has a temper. Like, I don't see it as much now. Apparently, he still has a temper, where my sister was the one who really, really got him going. And
Wow.
what else is interesting is like they're the same person, and that's probably why.
I was going to say, like me and my daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same person. And now with his grandson, who's my sister's son, apparently the grandson gets him going as well. The
Yeah.
grandson gets my sister going, and they're all the same person, which is it goes to show you how if you don't recognize your own traits and like
Uh
make
huh.
peace with them, you do get mad at them and someone else. And I really do think it's like a reflection of you coming back. But that's
Mm-hmm.
besides the point. I was talking with my mom about this and I'm like, yeah, like, is dad still like that? Like, how is he with his grandson? And she's like, oh, he's the same. I try to keep those two separated. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
wow, like that must be a lot of work for you when you're here trying to make sure that things don't erupt and explode, all because, and I love you, Dad, all because one adult cannot control their emotions.
Yeah.
I think that's adds to the mental load. It adds to the unfairness placed on women because when we're told we are too much, we then allow other people in our lives to actually be too much and prevent those situations where they could be too much instead of them having to deal with it. So I just think it's a
Yeah.
hard thing. I'm just mentioning it.
I'm sitting here going, wow, that's really deep and really true.
It's really true. It's unfair. And I hear that from so many women. I mean, I heard on TikTok, I just did a thing on like being a middleman for a
Mhm.
situation. And a woman replied, she's like, yeah, but sometimes it's just easier to be the middleman.
Right? There's so many things that are just easier. I would have loved to have just not even involved my daughter in any of the stuff we had to deal with. I would rather have just been like, give me the keys. I know what to do. Go borrow my car for the next, few days. And also, by the way, as soon as she said her car wouldn't start, I knew it was her battery. I would love to have been able to take care of everything and not had her be a part of it. But then guess what? When she moves out, when she goes to college, when I'm not here for whatever reason and she's out driving across town to a concert with another girlfriend and whatever, the battery goes out, she won't know what to do. She'll
Yeah.
have no idea.
Hmm.
So that's why we keep doing things over and over and over that sometimes do end up frustrating us and leading towards us losing our cool and getting upset. But there's always a chance to repair, like you said.
There is a chance to repair. And I know though, like you listening right now, like you probably hear that and you probably have repaired multiple times. You
Hmm.
repair, you repair, you repair, you repair. And you get to a situation where you're just like done with having to repair. That's what I got to. I'm like, I am sick of repairing. I do
Yeah.
not want to do that anymore. I want to like go back and like fix this situation so I don't have to repair in the future. And we're going to talk about strategies on how to do that next.
Taking on a DIY job around the house is the ultimate summer project. But if your DIY home security system is a beware of dog sign, when your real pet is Princess the cat, that's safe-ish. To be actually safe, help protect your home with a DIY system from ADT. It's easy to install and gives you virtual assistance from ADT's technical support team. Best of all, you can tell everyone in the neighborhood you set it up yourself. Don't settle for safe-ish this summer. DIY with ADT instead. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
So I came to this realization probably a few years ago when I noticed when I was being asked to do something by like my kids or when something upset me, I would have this feeling of resentment and I would feel the anger bubbling up inside me. And I knew that if I let that anger stand, it would come out in ways that I would then have to apologize for.
Wow, I wish I had that realization when I was younger. I just let it take over.
It's like a difficult realization to make. And I think I was so concentrated on all the repairing that I had to do. And it just feels awful to have to go repair. I mean, the same thing when you were a kid and you had to go apologize, like you just feel like crap going in and apologizing.
Well, especially when you're a kid. I do think that there is a big chunk of it where we need to acknowledge our lived experience. That like when we're kids, even though we're told to apologize, we don't totally understand how our behavior impacted the other person. And when you're older, you can see it a little better.
But even as an adult, it feels like crap to apologize.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
It's not like I'm admitting fault, but I am admitting fault because like that ingrained thought that like I should be perfect, I shouldn't have done this, and all of the shame, you have to confront all of that shame for actually doing what you did. And that's the thing that feels like crap. That's the hard thing to do.
Yep. That's the awful part. The part where you're like, ugh, why did I keep going? Why did I keep talking? Why did I keep whatever? Right?
Yeah.
I could have just stopped and walked away.
It just hit me in the moment. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have the shame hung over me. And there was, of course, a few key moments in the past few years too, where oh, guys, I cussed out my sister. I slammed the door in front of my kids and I stomped down my block barefoot because I was so pissed off at her. I had to repair for that for a while. And that situation played into, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get the other one in control. And so we were talking about like thoughts and feelings. And I realized that a lot of my thoughts when I'm angry is I'm not appreciated. I'm disrespected. So I can now figure out when those thoughts happen. Like when I start thinking I'm not appreciated, I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Something's going on here. I need to like stop and I need to break really hard. Else my action is going to be one of something that I have to go and apologize for. And I just don't want to go through the apologies anymore. Even though I will, but I just don't.
So then what are some things that have helped you? So you said you're listening to the trigger feelings, feeling unappreciated. And when you felt that, what did you do? Did you you stopped, gave yourself time?
I usually stop and I try to remove myself.
Okay.
I will be like, I can't, I need to go because I am not thinking clearly. Emotions are at a 10. I know I'm overwhelmed. I know I need to go take a walk. I need to calm down. Because here's something else interesting. People with ADHD have really hard time controlling their emotions. And that is something that I think about a lot because I do have ADHD and I do have more of a hard time controlling my emotions. And I think many people out there can see that, oh my gosh, I have a hard time controlling my emotions too, you might be thinking. So it's given me a little bit of grace to be like, hey, this is the hard thing, controlling your emotions. And it's given me more of a permission to step out of the moment, to allow myself some chance to cool down and actually confront the situation instead of what I was telling myself before. Stay calm, Joanne. Don't let this bother you. Like giving me this space. So the first thing I do is I try to stop, get myself out of the situation so I have some space.
And I love that because oddly enough, let's see, the battery happened last Thursday. And just last night, we got in another argument about something else. And I had to just like put my hands down and I just looked at my daughter and I'm like, I have to go. I'm very upset right now and I need to calm down or I'm going to say things that I don't want to say.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was important for her to hear because other than just me saying like, nope, I'm done, I'm walking away. Because I could have said that, much shorter way to put it. And eventually I'll probably get to a point where I can do that. But right now, she needs me to hear, this isn't you. I'm not leaving because I can't stand you. I'm leaving because I need that pause, that break, because I don't want to do or say something that's going to be upsetting. And the more we do that, the more our kids see it, understand it, and then they can start doing it, which is really what we want them to do before they flip out on us too, right?
Yeah. To notice that they're triggered, to notice that there are emotions that are going through their head that they need some time to sort out and figure out before they come back and they're able to think logically through the situation. So, like, I think that's important.
Yeah. So, just to kind of recap all the things that we just talked about, pausing, taking a moment for yourself, excusing yourself, and explaining why. We talked about figuring out some of the stories that we might be telling ourselves when we're having an altercation with somebody that we love. An easier way to say that is name it to tame it.
Name it to tame it. Name your emotions, name your thoughts. That's one of the most powerful coaching questions that I ask because it allows people to think about exactly what they're thinking. Usually, if you don't know this stuff about the brain, if you don't go through this training, you don't know that, oh my gosh, I might be thinking something that's not completely fair to that other person or might not completely be true about that other person that I'm assuming. But when you're asking yourself the question, it's like, what am I thinking right now? It's a huge eye opener as to why you might be feeling the way you're feeling.
And thinking versus what am I feeling? Those are two different things, but we often get them like, yeah, they're hard things there too. But so understanding that if you're feeling a certain emotion, that could be a trigger that you're about to get to a bigger emotion you want to. And then, like you said, identifying why am I feeling so upset right now?
Yeah.
What am I thinking in this situation?
What am I thinking? What am I thinking about the other person? What am I thinking about myself right now? Those are all good things to ask yourself. And they're good things to talk out with another person too, because I know like I was ruminating a lot about a situation that happened with my family this weekend. And I was able to talk to my mom about it and just venting to her and trying to verbalize exactly why I felt the way I felt. It helped me release a lot of that anger and frustration. And so I no longer feel like I have to take an action to make it right. I don't have to fix the situation. I'm able to let it go more.
Yeah, you were able to talk when you weren't upset at the time.
Yeah.
Which again brings us right back to the whole pausing, giving yourself the time, excusing yourself. I mean, those are all great skills. There are quite a few people I have met in my life that I really wish as adults they had those skills.
I really wish everyone had those skills. It would be so good.
Shiny, happy people.
But if you want some of those skills, guys, we have a 4-day challenge planned for you where you get to practice it. We are focusing on those simple requests that you make of your kids, like pick up your socks, go do the dishes, feed the dog, that you have on repeat. And when they don't answer you, you may get mad. You may blow off your top. All those things. We're going to take you through this challenge so that those simple requests are heard and that you have another option to take rather than yelling, a more effective option to get people to do what you need them to do in a way that still connects you with your child, even more so, because yelling long term, it has a lasting effect on kids. It has a lasting effect on relationships. And we know that you're probably at the point right now where, like me, you may just be tired of apologizing and repairing. So come to this challenge because we're going to work on that and you're not going to feel alone in it. You're going to be surrounded by so many other moms who feel the exact same way. And that is right down there in the show notes. And I say right down there, like I'm thinking of our podcast artwork on the top of your player. And then like if you scroll down, you can like hit the show notes. So come join us in that.
Yes. This has been really, really helpful because I think so many of us, we keep so much shame, like you said, about losing our cool, getting upset. It's mostly with our kids that we get the most upset about. But I'll be honest, if I lose my cool and yell at a friend of mine or my husband or somebody, I still feel awful.
Yeah.
But there is a special degree, a special place in your heart for when you yell at your kids and you didn't want to. That hurts.
Yeah.
That's a really rough one. But
They're like
are
helpless.
ways.
Other adults can fight back. Kids can't.
But they have to see us make these mistakes. They have to see us like have those oopsies. And I don't even know if I would call them oopsies, but those moments where we don't show up as our best so that one, they know that they can be an awesome person just like their mom and still not always be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And that they also know that people that they love them no matter what. Because a lot of times when they're really little, it's hard for them to separate the whole situation of us like yelling and stuff. So coming back later and repairing after we've had it happen, it's awesome. I don't want to say it's great to keep yelling at your kids, but I will point out that you do have more opportunities to repair.
You do. Repairing is a great thing. It's a great skill. Don't be perfect. Don't be perfect.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it a little less, come on over. We're going to help you do that.
Yes.
So until next time, remember the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. We'll talk with you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
If you'd like to support the show further, you can share episodes with your loved ones, leave a positive review, or follow us on social media at No Guilt Mom. You can also show your love by visiting our amazing podcast sponsors. We have a link in the show notes.